Good morning, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. I am out back watering my sunflowers. It may rain today, but it may not. So I thought I better get out here and water them before the sun comes out. And do a little video for you. So I woke up last night. I got asked a question, and I was thinking, where does it come from that we doubt ourselves so much in everything, especially things we're really passionate about, especially things we really love? Where does the doubt come from? Where do we think we can't do it? Where do we think we're failing? Where do we think, where does that all come from? When we were kids, when we were babies, we figured out how to do everything ourselves. Okay, we had a little help from parents and caregivers and stuff, but really, where did the doubt come from? When did that start taking effect, and we get hypnotized by it, we get brainwashed with it, and we begin to doubt ourselves in everything we do, everything that we really love doing. We don't think about, well, I could get better, or hey, let me do some research and find out how to get better. We just feel we're not doing it right. We doubt ourselves. We constantly doubt ourselves and put ourselves down, and where does that come from? Well, it comes from when we're young and we've been hypnotized by it, right? We've been told we're not good enough. We've been told we can't excel at this, or we can't excel at that, and we're told we have learning disabilities, or we're not fast enough, or whatever it is. It's always we can't do. So we get it through our head. So when there's a possibility that we could do, we forget about it. We don't want to, or we just doubt ourselves and become fearful of failing. And we start living that in our head, and we keep talking about it, and we keep asking questions, just constantly doubting ourselves. So we ask questions about, how do I be? But what if you already are? What if you see yourself as? What if you become that person without any doubts, without ever even the thought of that you couldn't be that? You are already that, and you start living the way you think that being would be, who that being would be. What would happen then? Who would that be? Who would that person be if you had no doubts whatsoever? What would it be? What would you be doing if you had no doubt? No doubt at all. Who would you be? What would you be able to do? Think about that for a minute. So often we get so caught up in the brainwashing that happened when we were young, and we don't even learn to get rid of it, right? All the fears keep us in place, right? All the doubts keep us in place, keep us controllable. But what if we break the mold? What if we go past that? What if? Okay, now I'm up here to water all my other flowers. So, what if? One sec. What if we let go of all the doubts? What if we just started believing in ourselves? What if we started telling a new story and being the person, right? There's so many, what if we keep thinking about the what if I can't? What if we start thinking, what if we can? What if we are being the best? What if we're capable of learning how? What if we're being who we're supposed to be, right? There's so many different ways we could change it around instead of doubting ourselves. When we were young and we had learning disability, maybe it wasn't a learning disability. Maybe we were we just learn differently, right? Oh, sorry, I'm busy watching my plants, not paying attention to the video. Sorry about that. But what if we stop doubting ourselves? What if we are the best we could be, and we just continue working on that, being even better, being who we want to be, and letting go of all the doubts? And even if we fail, even if we don't get to what we want to, even if we make mistakes, what if we decide that that's okay too? That's just part of the process. We didn't come out of the womb knowing how to walk or talk, or we didn't even know how to eat. Like, we had to learn everything, right? So here's the thing, like, we didn't know how to talk, right? So every baby learns their own language, right? Whatever language that their parents are speaking, we all learn that language. If the parents speak more than one language, then they learn that. But how is that possible that they can do that? Well, because it's repetitive, right? It's normal. We expect a baby to be able to learn, but then when we get to like school age, we expect them to be able to learn the way everybody else is learning, right? But it doesn't always happen that way, does it? So I have, well, okay, so I'll start with me. I never realized I had any type of learning disability, even though I was slower at learning how to tie my shoes and maybe doing writing or anything like that. But I could help out in other ways, so I was better at math. So I would help out my friends and with their math, and they would help me out with my writing and stuff. Reading was a little more difficult for me, but I still was able to do it, you know, and then told that, oh, you'll never get to anything, because I was told I had a learning disability. And so then, you know, like, doubts come in, right? So you like start thinking about yourself, well, maybe they're right. Maybe they're right about me. Maybe I can't learn. Maybe I can't spell properly. Maybe I don't know any of that stuff. And it took me a really long time, and I still even now have to go over things that I write and have to reread them. Sometimes I repeat myself over and over again. And sometimes, I mean, to me, that's just me, right? But I mean, maybe people don't want to read it over and over again. Maybe it's to make a point. It's to, like, I don't know. But anyways, grammar, I was never really good at grammar, but you learn, right? And I'm still learning today. Like, it's getting easier and easier the more I learn, because there's now different ways to teach instead of one way, right? So, like, I have a son, Matthew, who was born with difficulties and disabilities. So he's born with them. And although he went through all his stages, the stages of the babies, walking, crawling, all that stuff, he was slower than other kids his age, right? So he didn't get to the milestones at the time range that he's supposed to. So he was slower. So, you know, he has difficulties and disabilities and stuff like that. But he never doubted he could do it. Like, I never doubted he could do it. Sure, he's going to be a little slower. You know, I never thought, to me, the labels and all that didn't even matter, you know. Eventually he'll get there when he's ready to get there. And that's just my thought on things. You'll get there when you're ready to get there. But stop doubting yourself. Stop listening to what other people think. If you're wanting to do a business, learn everything you can about the business. Do everything you can possible to create that business for yourself. Do what you need to do. Learn how to do it. Be who you need to be, right? Never ever doubt you, because you can do it. Just don't ever give up. Don't ever give up on you, because you are so worth it. And yes, people will have their opinions of it. Who cares? Let them. Let them all have their opinion. Doesn't matter. It has nothing to do with you. You need to be on your side. You need to have your own back, and you need to know that you can do it, because you can do anything. Stop doubting yourself. Be that little baby and start walking. Like my youngest son, Loki, he wanted to walk so bad. He was like born walking. His feet just always went. And he, by the time he was like 6 months, he wanted to walk. and he tried so bad to walk, and he was walking with his sister, and he managed to get his arm away from her, and he slipped and fell on his face. And then he learned, ooh, I better learn how to fall first. So he did. That's what he did. The next little while, all he did was learn to fall. And then once he learned how to fall, once he learned how to get back up, once he learned how to bop down on his butt, then it was all over. That was it. I'm learning how to walk now. And he did. He got up and he started walking. He figured it out. There's other ways to do it. So don't doubt yourself. You can do anything. Just figure out how to do it. That's all. No matter how many times you have to start over. You're worth it. No more doubt. No more doubting yourself. You got this. I love you. Make an amazing day.